I have it here. Yeah, this is it. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Tasma idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dasalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Prahor Pita Putraya Bhutakrit Tasma idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dasalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praho Pita Putraya Bhutakrit Tasma idam Bhagavatam Puranam Dasalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praho Pita Putraya Bhutakrit. Please recite.
Tasmaidam Bhagavatam Puranam Dasalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praha Prita Putraya Bhutakrit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Tasmaida Bhagavatam Puranam Dasalakshanam Proktam Bhagavata Praha Pritaha Putraya Bhutakrita.
Very nice. Anyone else? Anyone else wants to recite? Okay, we can go with the synonyms. Tasmai, thereupon. Idam, this. Bhagavatam, the glories of the Lord, or the signs of the Lord. Puranam, Vedic supplement. Dasalakshanam, 10 characteristics. Proktam, described. Bhagavata, by the personality of Godhead. Praho, said. Rita, in satisfaction. Putraya, unto the Son. Bhutakrit, the creator of the universe. Translation. Thereupon, the supplementary Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which was described by the personality of Godhead, and which contains 10 characteristics, was told with satisfaction by the father Brahma to his son Narada. Purport. Although the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in 4 verses, it had 10 characteristics, which will be explained in the next chapter. In the 4 verses, it is first said that the Lord existed before the creation, and thus the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam includes the Vedanta aphorism Janmadi Asya. Janmadi Asya is the beginning, yet the 4 verses in which it is said that the Lord is the root of everything that be, beginning from the creation up to the supreme abode of the Lord, naturally explain the 10 characteristics. One should not misunderstand by wrong interpretation that the Lord spoke only 4 verses, and that therefore all the rest of the 17,994 verses are useless. The 10 characteristics, as will be explained in the next chapter, require so many verses just to explain them properly. Brahmaji had also advised Narada previously that he should expand the idea he had heard from Brahmaji. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed this to Srila Rupa Goswami in a nutshell. But the disciple Rupa Goswami expanded this very elaborately, and the same subject was further expanded by Jiva Goswami and even further by Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. We are just trying to follow in the footsteps of all these authorities. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is not like ordinary fiction or mundane literature. It is unlimited in strength, and however one may expand it according to one's own ability. Bhagavatam still cannot be finished by such expansion. Srimad Bhagavatam, being the sound representation of the Lord, is simultaneously explained in 4 verses and in 4 billion verses, all the same. Inasmuch as the Lord is smaller than the atom and bigger than the unlimited sky, such is the potency of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tashmai Sri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbhisesa Sunyavadi Paschyata Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Good morning again. Welcome everyone. I'm very grateful to all the assembled Vaishnavas for giving me this opportunity to prepare and speak for my own purification. It's very wonderful verse, very special verse, and very educational also. It may be one of the verses of among 18,000, but it is very educational for practitioners and readers. So this verse is coming from, again, Canto 2, The Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 9, answer citing the Lord's version, and text 44. Here, Sukadeva Goswami mentions, thereupon, the supplementary Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which was described by the personality of Godhead and which contains 10 characteristics, was told with satisfaction by the Father Brahma to his son Narada. So I would like to seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas to summarize this verse and share as relevant to previous conversations happening. Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva begins with a invocation mantra of Srimad Bhagavatam that begins Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadi Yashyata Anyad Itratas Charte Svavigya Swarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavayo Mayihanti Yat Suraya Tejavari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Tri Sargam Rata Dhamna Svena Sada Nirashta Suhatam Satyam Param Dhimai. So this is the invocation mantra of Srimad Bhagavatam. Many of us have read and heard. It's a very profound and very difficult to memorize also, for me at least. But we can Prabhupada in this verse, in his purport, he writes that how Thus, what is Srimad Bhagavatam and how it is supposed to be read or received or practiced, understood? The author himself, this one verse is a Gayatri mantra also. Let me go through a little bit later. But the author says, the Prabhupada writes that this, unfortunately, people they just directly want to jump into about Krishna. And Krishna name itself is all pure, and absolutely one will be benefited. Just knowing Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is perfection of one. But how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is understood scientifically. It has to be understood scientifically. So, in the purport of the first chapter, first verse, first canto, Prabhupada writes, unscrupulous persons go immediately to the 10th canto. No, even 10th canto, especially the very intimate Leelas of the Supreme Lord, Gopi's relationship, reciprocation with the Supreme Lord. Many go through it. And I was reading in another class also in the same thing. I noticed that it's very hard to understand for ordinary, for beginners, or even many times even we have been there for long years in the movement. It's very difficult. So Krishna cannot be understood. One cannot jump into those confidential subjects because one will not understand at all. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam is highly spiritual, and only the liberated persons who have gradually attained to the stage of Paramahamsa can transcendently relish this the rasadance of the Lord. So then what will be, what is the scope of us? So that's why Vyasadeva gives the readers the chance to gradually develop the spiritual realization before actually relishing the essence of the pastimes of the Lord. Just because it is for the Paramahamsas doesn't mean that it's not accessible for others. It's not meant for others. Yes, it is meant for every one of us. But how we should access Srimad Bhagavatam is Vyasadeva gradually gives the chance the readers to develop, builds the foundation, builds the qualification of the reader, builds the qualification of the practitioner, in order to understand, learn, relish the Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, he purposely invokes the Gayatri mantra Dhimai. What is the invocation? The first mantra, the Mula mantra of invocation mantra of Srimad Bhagavatam is a Gayatri mantra. This Gayatri mantra is meant for spiritually advanced people. When one is successful in chanting the Gayatri mantra, he can enter into the transcendental position of the Lord. So Gayatri mantra is not just for everyone. One has to be qualified. One must therefore acquire Brahminical qualities or be perfectly situated in the quality of goodness. That's the qualification. Brahminical qualities in order to chant the Gayatri mantra successfully. And then attain to the stage of transcendently realizing the Lord, His name, His pastimes, everything. So, in relation to that, many times in the world, especially a lot of agitation happening from the past also. Why Dalits are not allowed to temple? Why only certain people can touch the deities? Why only certain people can worship the deities? Why only certain people are allowed to come to the temple? There are a lot of controversial things happened in the past and happening now also, and happening in our movement itself. in the past it happened, and why we cannot perform Abhishek, why I cannot go to the altar. All these things happen. Vyasdev in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can understand Prabhupada how he nicely explains, yes, it is meant for you. Krishna wants every one of us to become Paramhamsas. But not for the sake of demanding. Rather, we need to qualify ourselves. That's the only difference. Everyone has a right to become Paramhamsa. And we have to qualify ourselves by going through this process, prescribed process to attain that stage of Brahminical or Paramhamsa stage. Because otherwise we will not able to appreciate what we are doing. We'll be committing a lot of offenses. I didn't mean to bring the deity worship, but I thought it's educational. Why only, there's no difference between cleaning the temple or deity worship. It's all same, it's absolute. We will learn this at the end. It's all absolute. That's why one needs teacher's guidance how to discharge devotional service, not whimsically. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is the narration of the Swarupa of the Lord manifested by his internal potency. Srimad Bhagavatam is not an ordinary literature. It is a narration of the Swarupa of the Lord. Swarupa of Jiva, me, we are totally unaware of it. By the mercy of the Srila Prabhupada, we are trying to understand what is my Swarupa. I think I'm this body. I'm so and so. But now his question is not only Swarupa of ourselves, it is Swarupa Srimad Bhagavatam, the narration of the Swarupa of the Lord. It's a very confidential. And this chapter itself, as Krishna explains to Brahma, Lord Vishnu explains to Brahma, he says that, Brahma, these all are very confidential matters and cannot be understood just like that. Only by devotional service, genuine devotional service, one can do it. And because you have pleased me by your sincere penance, I'm revealing to you. Mm-hmm. In glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam, again, it's Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam Yasmin Paramahansyema Ekam Amalam Jnanam Param Giyate Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Nishkarmya Bhaviskata Tashrunvat Sunvan Supathanam Vicharan Para Bhaktya Vimuchanare. This is from 12th canto. It is the first verse we discussed. Now the conclusive verses also, 12th canto, is the Srimad Bhagavatam, the spotless Purana. It is very dear to Vaishnavas because it describes the pure and supreme knowledge of the Paramhamsas. This is very interesting word, Paramhamsas. Paramhamsa, in this world, we are so much of conditioned that we want to be equal with everybody. And why not me? For everything, why not me? But Paramahamsas are, through their sadhana, through their devotion, they're liberated from the dismodes, from all these anarthas in their heart. And they've attained the stage of loving Krishna, knowing Krishna, loving Krishna, his transcendent puissance. Even though they're humanly body, and they're in the human body, but they are Paramhamsas. So the Bhagavatam reveals the means for becoming free from all material work. So again, Bhagavatam is for Paramhamsas, and we all we all are eligible also. That's why Prabhupada gives to us. But we all are eligible, but we have to go through the process. As the first one is the kind of invocation mantra, Mula mantra of Srimad Bhagavatam. that says what the readers will get. What is the purpose of the first mantra? Is what ultimately the readers will get is invocation mantra. Just like in Sri Isapanishad, there's an invocation mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva. It's an invocation mantra. So this book is explained in this mantra. So Vyasadeva asserts that Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. From Srimad Bhagavatam we can understand. And all others are his direct or indirect plenary portions or portions with the portions. It means even though we hear about the other incarnations of the Lord, we will understand everything in relationship to Krishna. And how it is relationship? That Krishna is the Samam Bonam, is the source of all incarnations. Lord Sri Krishna is the cause of all causes. Everything that exists emanates from the world. So, okay, that's the Lord's incarnations we just spoke about. How about these material manifestations, unlimited universes? Oh, he is the cause of all causes. The manifested cosmic nature is created at a certain period by the will of the Lord. It is maintained for some time and is annihilated by his will also. So that is the essence of in Srimad Bhagavatam. And same thing was explained by Lord Vishnu to Brahma. He says, how Lord Brahma received this transcendental knowledge. What is the seed of the knowledge? What is the purpose of the knowledge? And what is the essence of this knowledge? That is Brahma received through the penance. So in this purport, so in this sloka, let me share it back again to all of you here. It says, thereupon the supplementary Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is described by the personality of Godhead and which contains 10 characteristics. Sometimes we may not take it, what is too much, right? But these 10 characteristics are none different than the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is within the Srimad Bhagavatam. Was told with satisfaction by the father Brahma to his son Narada. In Prabhupada, in the purport, Prabhupada writes, although the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in 4 verses, it had 10 characteristics. Right? So Krishna gave only 4 verses. But then where the 10 characteristics come from then? That has been explained in this verse. Right? Why is Chaturshloki done? All Srimad Bhagavatam is done in Chaturshloki, in 4 slokas. Where did the 10 characteristics comes from? This verse stresses, these 10 characteristics are there in the 4 verses which is given by Lord Vishnu. These 10 characteristics are explained in rest of the 17,994 verses. Right? The first verse here, in the 4 verses, it is first said that the Lord existed before the creation, and thus the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam includes Vedanta aphorism Janmadi Asya. The first verse says the Lord is the source of, he is the source of everything. I am. That's why the first Vedic aphorism is Janma Adi Asya. That's done. Okay. Now, Krishna is the source of everything we understood. Is that end of the knowledge? No. Krishna gives further 3 verses. He says, what is that? Janmadi Yasya is the beginning. Yet the 4 verses in which it is said that the Lord is the root of everything that be, beginning from the creation up to the supreme abode of the Lord, naturally explains the 10 characteristics. So, if Krishna is there, and then does all these other manifestations in this material world, all these activities, all these species, everything is irrelevant to it or not? So that is all inclusive in it. From the beginning, okay, I know the Supreme Lord Krishna and his abode is Goloka, but we have to know also his creation, beginning from creation up to the Supreme abode of the Lord. That's the whole knowledge. We cannot say that, oh, I know only the spiritual science, I don't know anything about the matter. Upanishad explains that the one who studies both matter and science and science both parallelly together. Even though matter is science, one has to study. Understanding Krishna means understanding Krishna's energy also. Even though Maya Devi is, none of us, devotees don't like pretty much in one sense, at the beginning, this Maya is, giving us so much of trouble. But devotees gradually understand that Maya is also Lord's energy, external potency. So one should not misunderstand by wrong interpretation that the Lord spoke only 4 verses and the rest of the verses are useless. Now, interesting point. The 10 characteristics, as will be explained in the next chapter, require so many verses just to explain them properly. So Krishna gave 4 verses. Rest of the 17,994 verses are within that verse itself. Within that 4 verses itself. It took those many verses to explain the 10 characteristics. So same way, Brahma also advised to Narada previously that he should expand the idea. He should expand the idea of what it is. So we understand, even though the Lord Vishnu or Krishna is the original source of knowledge, this knowledge revealed to Brahma due to severe penances only. But Sahaja mentality is very, very prominent in life, because Prabhupada gave us a pure knowledge for our own benefit. Bhakti has become very superficial. Many times we see that devotees like to hear stories. Yeah, that's good. Mahabharata has been given. And Srimad Bhagavatam also a lot of stories, transcendental activities of the Lord. But it has to be practiced, understood in proper relevant, in proper way, guided by a senior Vaishnava, guided by Srimad Vaishnava, senior Vaishnava. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now if we see when Lord Srila Rupa Goswami, he met with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he explained him the science of bhakti. When he asked, to give him the knowledge of the bhakti, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, it's not possible for me to give you all the knowledge. It's like a vast ocean. I can give only a drop of it, Bindu." And then he asked, "Okay, you expand to it." So Rupa Goswami received from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this nectar of this devotional service, and he expanded in an ocean, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The Bindu is drop, becomes Sindhu. How is it possible? Because that is explained here in Prabhupada's purport. This transcendental literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, is a Sabda Brahma. Sabda Brahma is a sound incarnation of the Lord. And to that sound incarnation, we cannot limit it. No, we cannot limit it. It can expand as much as possible. It can expand as much as possible. So he said that Rupa Goswami expanded the same subject, further expanded by Jiva Goswami, then further expanded by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This way it is keep on expanding. The Lord is unlimited. It's like you hear this incarnation of Matsya Avatar, the fish incarnation. When Lord appeared first as a fish, he's become a very tiny fish. He appeared, and the king he was offering prayers. The fish came to his hand. It's a tiny fish, and the fish requested, "Please protect me, please, and I'm scared." So natural compassion. He's a devotee. He said the king's job is to protect everyone, save everyone. He gave. Okay, he took the fish with him and protected it. But the same fish kept on growing and growing and growing like unlimitedly. Similarly with Vamana incarnation as well. Bali Maharaj didn't know he's a Lord. Later he came to know, of course. But how Vamana incarnation, he expanded like a universal. So similarly, we understand from our authorities, Vyasdev, the Srimad Bhagavatam is a Sabda Brahman. You cannot bound it with 18,000 verses. That's the point. Even though we received in 18,000 verses, Srimad Bhagavatam cannot be bound in those slokas only this, because we have a limitation. We cannot take more. So that's what for our education is given. But otherwise, Srimad Bhagavatam is very unlimited. It expands, it can expand. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not like an ordinary fiction or mundane literature. It is unlimited in strength, and however one may expand according to one's own ability. Now, we have to be very careful. When it says according to one's ability, means not by the unqualified person. So qualified devotees, they can explain this Srimad Bhagavatam, expand it as much as possible. Still cannot be finished by such expansion. That's why sometimes Prabhupada comments on, about Bhagavata Saptaha. Hey, how can you finish Bhagavata Saptaha within 7 days? Thus, is the real purpose of Bhagavata Saptaha is just to develop some taste for it. No one can explain Srimad Bhagavatam completely. However, the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam can be explained, as Lord Vishnu gave to Lord Brahma in 4 slokas. I think I had it, what it is there in the 4 slokas. I will share it here somewhere. I have it actually. Yeah, I have it here. 1 second, let me share. We will read in next class. Yeah. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 divisions of the statements regarding the following. The creation of the universe is there, sub-creation, planetary systems, protection by the Lord, the creative impetus, the change of the Manu, the science of God, returning home back to Godhead, liberation, and the Samam Bonam. Everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam, and everything is part of the Srimad Bhagavatam. One is none different than the other. Vyasdev has given us, for us, very gradual development, elevation, so that we can reach to a stage we can understand the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's like, otherwise like going to do PhD without doing elementary school. Sometimes, there's understanding that, elementary school education is inferior. No, it's not inferior. Elementary education is a foundational foundation for our career. So it cannot be separated to the PhD knowledge. So similarly, the 10th canto information, or Chatusloki, which is given in 2nd canto, is 17,000 or 18,000 verses are there within it. So whole thing explains to us that Krishna, Lord Vishnu, is the cause of all causes, and how to know him, how to attain him is through severe penance or devotional service. Actually, Brahma attained through severe penance, but Lord Vishnu explains that this can be attained only by the devotional service. And so I would like to stop it here. Any questions, comments, corrections? More can be spoken on this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Could you please explain the first screen? I did not understand all the points.
Are the points which I just shared? Okay.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
first screen.
Yeah, that will come. That will come actually next chapter. I'm just
Yeah.
giving a brief because you see these are the 10 subject matters here.
And the subject matters are contained in the Chatushloki.
Yeah, you didn't understand. That's good. Okay, let me explain. So now going forward, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam will be covering these subject matters. The creation of the universe, sub-creation of the planetary system. The fifth chapter will explain the time and planetary system, protection by the Lord. All these incarnations of the Lord will be explained gradually. Creative impetus, the manvantras, the science of God, and returning home back to God, and how we can go back to God, liberation. All these subjects will be explained gradually. So now question will be asked, how come these subjects came? Krishna did not explain to Brahma, he just gave only 4 verses. So Prabhupada writes, no, these 10 subject matters are there in Lord Krishna's answer, explanation. That's the whole point here. Let me share here.
And what is Samam Bonam?
Samam Bonam is Krishna. About Krishna, he's absolute. He's the source of everything. And what is Swarupa? Swarupa means what is nature? What does he do? What does he like? How is the relationship between the living entities, gopis?
Oh, okay.
That's the Samam Bonam is the 10th. That is explained in the 10th canto.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like I can give a mundane example. Okay, all right. I need to do an MBA. The MBA will have master in business administration, and in this, if you do this, you will get money. You will get successful in life in this field. So that is the main mantra. Then how to get into the MBA? What is MBA? And how to do it? The whole process is within there in MBA also, right? Because just the word is, someone will say, you just asked me to do this MBA, but I'm just directly jumping into why you have to go through all this ABCD. One of my nephew wanted to a big business. We said, okay, that's good. You can do a business, then learn from ABCD. So he doesn't want to learn. He says, just give me money, and I will directly engage in the business, medicine business, medicine factory. You get the point? So yes, we can do it. You're allowed to do it, but here the gradual development Vyasdev has given us, warned us that from the first mantra itself, it is a Gayatri mantra. One should be qualified, and gradual development one should happen. One should come to the stage of Brahminical quality. In the first mantra itself, this is.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you. So somebody pointed here, the highest good, especially as the ultimate goal, according to which values and priorities are established in ethical system, the human figure, the summum bonum of academic art. Okay, it's from the probably you got from Google, right? Okay. So this is the translations be given. Meaning. Any other comments? Sorry if it's boring. The subject is theoretical, and more theoretical subjects will come in next chapter when we go through the material elements, ingredients. The creation will come, so it's going to be more scientific. So
thank you, Prabhuji. No, you explained everything very nicely. On the last screen I got. I thought
did I do? I'm so glad at least somebody
yeah.
liked
No, nice.
No, I don't know. Sometimes my classes will be very philosophical. It's not my class. It's the Acharya tells us that it has to, then only we can understand. We have seen in our movement, we see many times, we see devotees. Oh, somebody has come from, senior devotee has come, right? Everyone, we gather it. And then we take selfie of it. But pure devotees, we are supposed to serve. We are supposed to hear. It is not the selfie to become equal. Okay. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to hear submissively, understand the greatness of the devotional service. Only by hearing we will know the person. So that's also a symptom of sahajya. We just come for the sake of sentiment, and we just come and take selfie and socialize, and then go back and we forget what we learned. I'm sorry, many will not like it, but do you all notice this or no? Observe this?
Yeah.
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 This Paramahamsa is meant, this literature is making all of us Paramahamsa. We can also become by serving the Paramahamsas. Not to take selfies and try to equal the devotees, rather gradually, systematically studying and preparing ourselves. So it's 8:38. If no one has any questions or comments, I'm very grateful for your audience. You can text me your comments. How do you like it? Or I need the improvement of this. Yeah. So you can let me know if you have any improvements or it was not beneficial. We'll stop it here. Vancha kalpatarvyascha.
Hare Krishna, it was so nice. Thank you.
Patana avanibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha.
Thank you, Mukti. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was so nice.
Yeah, thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.